Hello Libra, and welcome to your reading for the weeks covering May the 14th through the 27th, 2024. This is a reading if you are Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising, or have some other significant Libra placement in your chart. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's good to have you. Always good to have new people checking this out, and I definitely appreciate you doing that. And if you're returning, welcome back. And again, I'm very glad that these readings resonate with you, and that you're sticking with this channel, and the readings that are here are actually helpful for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be notified about these videos. I also do my daily morning coffee with Breege, which many of you might see. It's live on Instagram currently from 6:30 a.m. to 7 in the morning. I'll see if I end up changing that time, but I do things early in the morning, and then I post those every day to YouTube, and they're also available on Instagram for at least a period of time. I also have links in the description below to my website and my other offerings, so you can see what I do in terms of spiritual coaching and other services that I provide. Now, if you're not familiar with the way that I do these readings, I do a full horoscope spread, 12 houses of astrology, and so I'm going to be interpreting the cards with respect to the house position. So I will tell you what the house position is first, and then I will explain what the cards will mean in that context, or what I'm getting in terms of what the cards mean in that context or in that position. Because this is a general reading, please remember that there's going to be aspects of this reading that apply to you and others that don't, because I'm going to be covering all the aspects of the house. And some of them will have nothing to do with you. So for instance, if you have no children in the 5th house and I talk about the possibility about children there, then obviously that's not meant for you. So take what resonates and leave the rest. What's going on right now? Well, really the big thing in the last couple of days is this massive geomagnetic storm that's going on again. People are seeing these beautiful auroras, these big, beautiful violet auroras or in the sky, or purple. And technically, I think we can see them here as well, but we've been so cloudy here that I was not able to see them. I'm hoping maybe tonight we'll get a better shot at seeing it. But last night seemed to be just spectacular. So anyway, yeah, it's but the geomagnetic storms do sometimes stir things up. May is a relatively quiet month astrologically. But we do have Pluto retrograde. We are coming out of this week, actually, but the beginning of this reading is the end of Mercury retrograde post-shadow. So any leftover communication difficulties and so forth should be ending after that point. And I think we just had a wonderful new moon in Taurus, which is probably going to bring a lot of abundance and prosperity and change for a lot of people. So overall, probably a pretty good month astrologically. I'm only covering a couple of highlights. I'm sure there's a lot more, but okay. So let's look at your first house, Libra. This is Aries energy. So Aries has to do with your personality, how you present yourself to the world, how people see you. Okay, and we have Ankh with the 7 of Pentacles. So, okay, so you are in a period of reevaluation here. When 7 of Pentacles comes up, we are looking to see how far we've come. We're evaluating who we are, what we want to identify with, what we want to do with ourselves. This is a period of just looking to see what effort we've put in and whether or not we should continue to put the same effort in. Now with the Ankh here, Ankh has to do with, it can have to do with love, okay? So you can be somebody who is exuding a very loving kind of an aura, or somebody who's coming off the vibe that makes you very attractive to people. That is very possible here. Ankh here also can mean that you're in a place where you are focused on what's in your heart. Like, what are you passionate about? What you want to be somebody who reflects the fact that you are living the good life, living the passionate life, living the life that you want. But with the 7 of Pentacles here, it could be that maybe you are evaluating whether or not this is the case, like whether or not you really are doing whatever it is that you're doing. Are you living the dream? And I know sometimes people will say that in a very ironic sense, but the idea is, that you are, you may be reevaluating things and reevaluating yourself to see how you can live more authentically and more according to what it is that you actually want out of life. Our second house is Taurus energy, and Taurus has to do with finances primarily. Okay, so we have Isis with the Six of Pentacles. So this is interesting. Some people, this literally will mean money coming from mom, okay? Just literally because this is a mom card and this is a card of receiving charity of some kind. So that could be a literal thing for some people. But it also could be a situation where you need to have patience with something. Maybe this could be a card of either give or take. So either you are giving a lot of money to a person or situation, or maybe you are receiving something from somebody. Whatever the situation is, there's definitely a sense of nurturing and support here, whether it's actually about somebody's mom or not. And it also can just be a situation where for right now, there may be some give and take, but you need to be patient to see where you're going to get with your finances. It just kind of feels like a time when you may be trying to work out or sort out some things financially, and maybe either not have somebody not so reliant on you or you not so reliant on them. But sometimes too, though, when I see this with Isis, it can also just mean that somebody is looking to provide support and you should allow them to do so. Because sometimes it's perfectly okay to, a lot of times we're all very independent and say, no, I don't want help from anybody. I'm not going to accept help. But sometimes that's just the thing to do. Okay, third house. This is Gemini. So this has to do with communications, messages, short distance travel, sibling relationships, so brother-sister relationships. And if you are self-employed, this would cover an area of your own business. Communications of all type mainly. And we have Urias here. Okay, so this would indicate either something secret coming in or something that you are, or an unexpected communication. Okay, now it's interesting because we have this with the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords indicates a mental block. So I don't know, you may be learning some news, something may be coming in, and your response to it may be something that initially makes you feel stuck, or makes you feel like, like either, I don't know, this can be a card of guilt. So sometimes it can be a card of us saying like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I should have done it differently. Or maybe there's something new that's going to be coming in, and perhaps you feel like there's an opportunity there that maybe you can't take advantage of. Whatever the situation is, I feel like there's like an excess of mental energy here. Now in Gemini, when you have an excess of mental energy, this can create all kinds of worries, all kinds of scenarios, worries about the past, triggers about things. Whatever it is, ultimately it leaves us feeling stuck, okay? But the person in this particular card, as you can see, her feet are unbound. It's mostly up here where she feels caught and where she's bound, or where she feels like she can't see. And it would be very easy for her to actually break free of the bonds that she's in and walk away from this. But it's all in the upper part. It's all around the head. There's something here, either in the head or the heart or something that's holding us back. But there's something very unexpected coming in. And I don't see this as a negative. I simply see, but I do see it as something that you initially might perceive as a challenge. But really what it is it's something to help you get mentally unstuck here. So that's going to be different things for different people. This could be a change with regard to your business. This could be a change with regard to, this could have to do with the sibling relationship. Whatever it is, this could also have to do with something that is secret, or that maybe you've been keeping a secret. Because sometimes Urias comes up when you have good news, but for some reason you need to keep it to yourself. So take that as it resonates here, but there definitely seems to be some kind of unexpected communication that might leave you a little bit up in your head. But I don't feel, Urias to me always indicates something that's, to me, is unexpected good news. So whatever this is, I think you may just be worried that there might be a result that isn't good, but this is saying that's more what's going on in your head than the reality. Okay. Fourth house, Cancer energy. Cancer has to do with, your home, your physical home where you live. It can also have to do with your sense of being at home, and also your sense of security. This house can also have to do with family relations, the mother in particular, but there is definitely this idea of, there's definitely something around family, ancestry, and also home for the house of Cancer. Now this is interesting because we have the Earth and Judgment here. So Judgment to me often comes up, Judgment can be an awakening. It can be finally putting a situation to rest. Sometimes this is the resurrection of something or the rebirth of something when we see Judgment here. but oftentimes there's a waking up to something. So this could have to do with a family situation. This could have to do with a something connected to maybe where you're living, or maybe if you have thinking about moving, like judgment can have to do with decisions and things like that. And earth has to do a lot with money and with putting down roots. So, okay, so this can have to do with, there's a very practical edge to this card. It's very Taurian. Now, because I saw this Six of Pentacles with the Mother card here, and this is the house of the Mother, for some people, and again, this is very specific, this is not going to be for everybody, but this could literally indicate like almost like either legal money coming in from a mother, maybe there's going to be a sale of a house or something, maybe for some people there's a legacy that's in process right now. But there definitely seems to be this idea of money coming in potentially from something legal, because judgment can also have to do with law, because of that, the whole idea of judgment, right? So I don't know, there could be legal monies coming in, maybe a sale of a house or something like that. But the fact that it's in the Mother house and I see the Mother card over here, I don't know, that might be true for somebody here. It did jump out at me, but it can also just be that maybe there is, like I said, this could be the sale of a house. If we're talking about moving, generally the Earth card here would indicate kind of staying put. It's not a card of movement, it's a card of usually slow change. Okay. It can also indicate that somebody might make a decision to work from home, okay? Because the Earth card here might indicate making your money from your home space. But whether this is connected to family or to home, I mean, it's going to resonate differently for everybody. But we definitely have this energy of either financial prosperity and so forth coming from the home or the family sector. And something about judgment. So like I said, it's either a waking up to something, a final decision being made about something, or maybe perhaps something legal in some cases. So take that as it resonates. Fifth house, Leo energy. Okay, Leo has to do with love affairs, creativity, children. It can have to do with recreation, things that we do for leisure. It can also have to do with being seen, being recognized, really, is a lot of the element of, I mean, the 10th house is a house of our reputation, but a lot of this is oftentimes work that we're doing, or either creative work or partnerships that we're in, that are very visible to other people. Leo, of course, is a very, very sunny energy, very positive. Now we have Scarab with the Devil. This is interesting. Okay, so a couple possibilities here. Now, if we're talking about a love affair, and again, as I mentioned in the beginning, this will resonate for some people and not others. This could indicate a new relationship, but it may be very, very physical based. Okay, the Devil is certainly a card of sensuality. So when this card comes up, it could be something where there's like an instant lust attraction between people. Okay, so that's possible here. The other possibility, though, is that when we see this new, there's definitely a new beginning when Scarab shows up here. So this could also be a creative new beginning. It could be a new creative project or a new venture. It could be, and it could even be like if you have children, it could be one of your children who's doing something new or making a change. But Devil, in the case, if it's not about lust in a relationship, it's often about being tied or attached to things. So I don't know. I feel like, just like I'm seeing this Eight of Swords over here, like if this has to do with, like, say, a creative business venture, then this would be saying there may be old habit patterns or thoughts or situation that may be tying you to the past and maybe not allowing you to move ahead. The Devil is about breaking old patterns and old attachments, old things that we think, are keeping us stuck and helping us to move to the next phase, to move ahead, to break down any false structures. So that's also possible too. In a relationship, this can sometimes also indicate codependency. So if there is somebody new that you've met, again, everybody's different, but if you find that there's a situation where you feel really, really drawn in by somebody in a big way, in a way where you feel, sometimes people do fall in love that way. Actually, that's usually the typical way, right? Sometimes you feel like somebody's just your whole world and everything. But the Devil could be saying here, just beware of codependency. Make sure, that you recognize that if you're in a relationship, that you're two independent people. Okay, so these are all possible elements of this. But yeah, there's definitely this idea of change, but there is a need also potentially to get out of these habit patterns that maybe are either codependent, or just something that's just keeping us stuck in a particular rut. Okay, sixth house. This is, okay, this is Virgo energy, health, healing, job. Okay, so if you're at work, this could have to do with a job. That, you know, where you're employed. If you're not self-employed, I mean, some people are both, but anybody you work for, and also worries and anxieties that we have. Okay, so this is interesting because I have Hathor here with the Page of Swords. Now, Page of Swords, if this has to do with work, there could be a female person at work that maybe you feel is being gossipy or maybe talking behind your back or something like that. There may be a fear about this. Page of Swords sometimes shows up when we need to do research or get more information. Wow, my crown, I'm just going to say this, my crown chakra is really going nuts right now, so I don't know, this seems to be important for somebody. But there does seem to be this sense of somebody who was either gossipy or saying things. I don't know. This could be a fear, or this could actually be a situation. So yeah, so take that as it resonates. If this has to do with a health situation, Hathor generally shows up sometimes when stomach issues are a thing. And I don't know, in that case, I would see the Page of Swords as something where you want to do more research or get more information. I'm not feeling that this is something where Page of Swords generally indicates something that is not being directly communicated or not directly seen. I mean, like I said, that's why I said for some people it could be gossip and that kind of a thing. That would be the more negative end of it. But it could also just be something where the information on something is not obvious. So, but I don't know. But at the same time, I would just suggest that this might be more a case. It feels more like a case of a worry and anxiety about something, maybe that's affecting, the way you feel. A lot of people, when they're stressed, it affects their stomach and things like that. But I feel like with Hathor here, this could also be saying that, maybe just paying attention to diet and nutrition and things like that might be something that helps. Maybe you want to research something new about what might be the best course of action. Because Page of Swords can also show up when we need to just find things out and need to do the research. So, yeah, interesting. 7th house. This is your own energy, Libra energy. Libra is about partnerships. It's about legal relationships, so marriages. It can be business partnerships, other kinds of contractual relationships, any kind of important partnership that may have a legal component to it. And interestingly, yeah, we have the Crook and Flail here, so we have this strong legal card. And we have it with the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands is interesting. So this seems to be messages coming in. And again, this is weird, because Crook and Flail could indicate legal messages. Maybe there's a contract coming in for somebody. Maybe you're going to enter into a new business relationship with somebody. I don't know. But nonetheless, there's this idea of something happening fast. The number 8 does seem to be important here, because we have 17, 1 plus 7 is 8, and then we have an 8 here. So I don't know, could be something in 8 days, 8 weeks, could be August, the 8th month. Again, different for everybody, and timing is always something I tell people to take with a grain of salt. But the number did jump into my head, so that may be significant for somebody here. I feel like, okay, so this could be, like I said, this could be a legal situation. I'm not seeing an element of, say, like divorce or something here, because I know sometimes when we see legal cards in this house, it could mean there's a legal situation between two people. I feel like more like this might be, this could be a raise in status. So if you are married, this could be you or your spouse, maybe your spouse receiving a promotion of some kind, or being more visible or more recognized, or maybe just a partner who is somebody who's very recognized, either as an expert or they're just visible in some fashion. But whatever it is, there's something coming in, and this is fast messages coming in, and things happening very quickly. For those of you looking for love, this could be a love situation that happens really, really fast. So, and it may be with somebody who is either considered to be an expert or somebody who's very visible. So, anyway, take that as it resonates. Let's look at the 8th house here. This is Scorpio energy. This is about transformations. It's about beginnings and endings, and also potentially about joint finances or other people's money. Okay, so we have Bast with the 7 of Cups. Okay, well, 7 of Cups tends to show up when we feel almost like we have too many options. While it's good to have options and to be able to see, all the different possibilities, really there's a case of being confused about what might be real and what might not be real. There's almost like a veil of illusion being thrown over something when this card comes up. Like there's just something that, I don't know, somehow we're either unable to make a decision, or just the way forward just seems cloudy to us. And really with Bastet, this card would indicate the need to, you really need to be in touch with your intuition here. This is a card of saying, it's actually, seeing these two together is very Neptunian to me. And it's funny because in the 12th house you have Nepethys, which is also a card of Neptune. And Neptune energy, it can bring psychic insight, but it can also cloud things. So I don't know. I feel like right now there may be some doubt. Maybe you're not trusting your instincts right now, because I feel like if you really tap into your inner voice, it's telling you what's happening or what the new direction is going to be for something. So I don't know. I just feel like soon you're going to follow your instincts to sort out what's real and what's not real for you. That seems to be the main message here. Ninth house, Sagittarius energy. So Sag has to do with higher education institutions. It can have to do, and also with going to school, like going to school for any kind of continuing education, including college, university. It can be spirituality, faith, so spiritual institutions of all kinds. It doesn't just have to be churches or traditional institutions. It can also be like covens and things like that. And this house can also have to do with long distance travel. So, okay, so we have Lotus with the 6 of Swords. And yeah, so somebody is making a long trip here. This is generally a trip across water, or it's a long, definitely a long journey here. And Lotus indicates peace of mind. So you may be taking a long trip, and that this is something that's going to give you a chance to sort of relax and calm down. And if you've been anxious lately, this may be an opportunity to decompress. Lotus does indicate the peaceful continuity of something. So if you're not planning to travel, then this could just mean moving away from anxiety about something. So maybe if you've had a crisis of faith recently, maybe if there's been issues with school. A lot of people are now getting out of school because it's end of term. So maybe if semester has been a huge pressure for you, maybe it's like, okay, now the pressure's off and you can relax a little bit. But definitely an element of moving away from anxiety here in the 9th house. So whether this means you're taking a trip and going to have a nice peaceful trip, or whether it means you're just, that you've been in a high stress situation connected to something with this Sagittarius energy. Like I said, either a crisis of faith, or whether it has to do with something that you're learning, because this is about expanding your horizons. There's a sense of really, there is a sense of expanding your horizons here, but it's also about decompressing. Okay, 10th house. This is Capricorn energy. This has to do with career, fame, reputation, things like that. Okay, we have Sirius with the Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands is somebody who's off and running, ready to go do something. Sirius, you're definitely ready to roll up your sleeves and put in the work on something. But this definitely indicates a situation where when the Knights come up, and especially with Sirius, it could indicate that basically it's saying, move ahead, but be aware that you might be taking the rough with the smooth a little bit. There could be a few bumps in the road, but they're not serious bumps. This really, what Knight of Wands would be indicating is when you're very excited and inspired to do something, make sure you slow down and that you're looking at the big picture, that you've taken all factors into account before you. I'm feeling like it's saying, yes, keep moving and stay inspired, stay enthusiastic, but also, ground that or temper that with being aware of, where you might still possibly either be blocked, or where you might possibly need to make adjustments before moving ahead. Because often when the Knights come in, it's like we're ready to just kind of go rush in and do the next thing. And it may be saying, well, there could be some other foundational work that needs to be done first. But there's something here. Nonetheless, it seems like you are very anxious to kind of expand your horizons and move ahead, which again is totally fine. But this is a very fast energy. Sometimes this brings messages as well, because Knights can also bring messages connected to career. So take that as it resonates. Okay, 11th house, Aquarius energy. Aquarius is about friendships, our social networks. It can also be about our goals, our hopes and wishes. And we have the 6 of Cups with the twins. Okay, so this is interesting because if I look at these two together, this seems to me like a friend from the past. It would be my initial immediate response, because the 6 of Cups is is looking backwards. It's looking backwards to childhood. It could be nostalgia, or just literally the past or a past situation. Now, whether this is a past person that you know from a while ago or from your past, or whether is this about a past life thing, again, different for different people. But there seems to be some kind of connection. Some people interpret this card as a soul connection card. So maybe there's somebody in your friend group or somebody you're going to meet who's going to be a very strong soul connection for you. Maybe there's somebody you've met recently. And yeah, there may be something coming up here. Sometimes this comes up when we have a chance to revisit a past situation. I mean, it doesn't have to be the case here. But Six of Cups to me is about, about kind of looking back and kind of integrating the past into the present. And so there's either somebody who's going to help you do that, or this is going to be a new friendship or situation that, I don't know. And it can also just make you feel nostalgic too. There could just be something about the relationship that brings you back to another place. But maybe there's something childlike about the person too. That could be as well. But yeah, but the twins definitely shows here. If we are talking about your goals or what you're trying to manifest, it could just be that you're going to be doing this with somebody in partnership and not on your own. Okay, but it could just be a very significant friendship that's going to play a big role right now. Okay, 12th house, Pisces energy. Pisces is a little more nebulous and amorphous. It has to do with our imagination. It has to do with with what we're afraid of. Primarily in these readings, I find that the 12th house is what we're not conscious of or what we're not showing to people. It can also be where we're in doubt about things. And we have Nephthys with the 5 of Wands. Yeah. There's definitely an internal struggle going on here with the 5 of Wands. And it's a struggle with uncertainty, saying, having to do with what's not seen, what's uncertain here, okay? And I feel like, yeah, this is saying that there seems to be a fear about what you don't know or what might be around the corner. Maybe there's a change you're looking to make, but maybe there's an internal struggle about whether or not it's the right thing to do. We do have cards here that, you have cards of reevaluation. You have cards where you may be worried about somebody who's gossipy or saying things. You may be anxious to move ahead with something, but not sure you have all the details. There may have been some communications that maybe are making you feel, for whatever reason, they kind of maybe mentally having you feel tied up. And also you've got this 7 of Cups over here. So you are, I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like there's inspiration to move ahead, but at the same time, there's this feeling that you are, that you're struggling or that you're stuck in some way, because there seems to be something about the future that feels too uncertain to you. But overall, we have Buckle of Isis with the Knight of Pentacles. So the advice here, Knight of Pentacles definitely is sort of slow and steady. I don't see anything here that suggests that you need to go, like with the Knight of Wands, you don't necessarily need to go rushing in to make some big changes. However, that said, Buckle of Isis indicates that the work you're putting in now, like the work that we see up here, this, whatever you do to kind of, forge ahead, plodding along here slowly but surely, but this movement ahead, Buckle of Isis indicates the growth of the sacrifice. I do tend to liken this card a bit to the Hanged Man, which would be very close here, because there's the idea that something needs to be given up to move ahead. Okay, but at the moment, you may be in this slow and steady kind of a mode. So, So, and that seems to be okay. It seems like, maybe you're going to get away and take a vacation that's going to give you a break. But there's, just some interesting things here around. I'm just trying to see what the overall, okay, so we have 15. There's 6 energy. So the Devil is card 15, 1 and 5 is 6. You have a 6 here, you have a 6 here. You've got a 6 here, 1 plus 5 is 6. You've got 6 you've got, 1, 2, you got 3 6s here, 3 out of the 4 6s. So, I feel like, no, sorry, I'm wrong. Wait, 4 out of 4? No, you don't have the 6 of Wands. Okay, I was looking at this. I'm like, wait a minute, do you have all 4 of them? Am I missing that? But no, and you've got a 6 here. So 6 energy to me is moving away from an anxious situation, moving away from conflict and towards calmer waters. and towards whatever the next stage is. So I feel like you've completed some initial stage of something, and now you're getting ready to move forward. But right now you're kind of moving slow and steady, and there will be some more changes that need to happen, but you know, wait and see when that comes up. I feel like it's something that you're basically just, things are a bit nebulous right now, so this is really a time when you want to rely on your intuition, which I think is very, very strong right now. And you're going to see where this reevaluation is going to take you. But I think it is asking you to look very much at do what you want to do in your heart. Don't act out of fear, and don't act out of obligation to anybody. You got to do you. Okay. Now the card that we got for, yeah, and that's so funny. I just got the card I pulled from Moonology. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. So yeah, this is a time when you want to shine on your own terms and where you can, but I think you may be feeling a little unsure about yourself. There may be situations that have made you feel a little unsure, or maybe that are you know, making you maybe overthink something. So yeah, no, definitely if there's an overall message here, it's you do you, and don't let other people talk you out of that or get you down. And it does look like there may be a nice long trip for some of you in the offing. And yeah, I don't know, this is a interesting thing here with mother and money and stuff like that. So I don't know, or just, again, doesn't necessarily have to do with somebody's mother. It's just curious. It does seem like there's some kind of a family thing, at least connected to money, or receiving money. So I don't know, take that as it resonates. I hope you have a great rest of your May, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.